we are going to be running through the basics of how to use Google Meets. All right, the nice thing about Google Meets is that there's a bunch of different ways to access your Google Meets meeting. However, I'm just going to show you a couple of ways to streamline that process as a bunch of different tools to use once you are in the meeting. All right, so on my screen, I have two sites pulled up. I have my Google Calendar pulled up, as well as my Google Classroom. And these are the two main ways we're going to be using this semester if we need to do remote learning and how to access Google Meets meeting. So first, and I think the easiest way to use, is your Google Calendar. All right, for each meeting we are going to be having, I'm going to have a pre-made meeting scheduled into Google Calendar that will be sent out to all of you. So all you need to do is when you log on to your Chrome or whatever browser you use and you access your Google Calendar, there will be an event in there that says, okay, you have class at this meeting. So right now I already have it clicked on my screen, but if I come over here and I click Google Meets tutorial, it'll pop up that little screen and it'll say, all right, join with Google Meet. And it'll take me to the site to start my meeting. Another way before we log on to the Google Meets is through Google Classroom. Up at the top in our banner, we have our title, class hour, class code, and Meet link. The way to join the Google Meets, you just click that link and it will pop up and open. That link, sometimes depending on if I allow the setting, it may not be there, but your calendar will always be there. So if you can't find it on there, just go to your calendar. All right, I'm back at my calendar. I'm gonna click Join with Google Meet. It's moving and grooving. All right, very, very important. Allow Meet to use your camera and microphone. Okay, you will click Dismiss. And then you will come up to the top here, meetgoogle.com wants to show notifications, hit allow. Because then it's gonna ask you, are you gonna allow it to use your microphone or are you gonna allow it to use your camera? And hit allow. That's way if you need to talk, you need to show your video, oh, there I am, okay? If you need to do anything within the meeting, that's where it will be at. All right. So it shows that my teacher account is already logged in the call. So now I'm just waiting for my quote unquote student account or my personal email to log in. So I'm going to click join now. And I am in the meeting. So up there on that main screen is my teacher account. Okay. And if you notice at the bottom, it says, hey, are you talking? Your mic is off. So when you come into the meetings, it may automatically mute you, which is totally fine. The courtesy for coming into these meetings is to keep your mic on mute. That way we don't have a bunch of feedback and a bunch of people talking at once. Now, during our classes, you're not just gonna be a bystander, just sitting there and hanging out until the meeting's over. You are going to have to interact and talk. So one of the Chrome extensions we downloaded the other day was Push to Talk. That app is that extension is going to make it really easy so you don't have to come onto here and find the mute and unmute button, which is actually at the bottom, okay? So like maybe you had in a previous class, you were called on in class and you're like, oh gosh, I have to scramble and hurry up and find how to mute and unmute myself. Now all you have to do is just click your space bar. And by clicking your space bar, you can just click it to unmute, click the mute again, okay? Let's see, what was the other thing? Down here at the bottom, you'll have your end call if you want to leave. Typically, me as the teacher, I'll end it before you go and it will close everything down. This little camera right here, this will turn your video on and off. Preferably in class, we would love to see your face. We would love to see you, interact with you. It's not really fun teaching to blank screens or talking to a wall, okay? We would love for you to interact and show your face. All right, if you want, over here on the right-hand side, you can turn on your captions. I tried playing with this feature. Sometimes it comes out a little bit of wonky, a little bit of funky, but hey, live your best dream. And over here on the far right, you'll have your Present Now button, which will show your screen. You guys as students probably will not be using that. I will be using that to show you my screen and interact with our notes. Okay? Up here in the upper right-hand corner, You have a little person with a number 2 that shows how many people are in the meeting. So me and me, my teacher and personal account. Okay? The other feature right here, over here where it says chat, sometimes I may say, hey, here's a question, type it in. You will click chat, come down to the bottom, okay, send a school appropriate response, school appropriate, all right, hello, click and send. Normal text messaging features, okay? Sometimes I might say, hey, send a reaction. Now, that was the other Chrome extension we downloaded called Nod. If you notice up here in the upper left, you have all these reactions. You can send a wave and it will show up over here in the bottom left your reaction. So I know that y'all are alive and interacting and actually present. Or if you have a question, you can click the raise your hand. And as I'm speeding through, going through my lecture notes, I'm gonna see that and it's gonna stay up until I go over it, notice it, and it will go away, okay? So if you ever have a question during class and I'm just speeding through, mind my own business, okay? Click that, raise your hand, and it will go. Okay, let's see. We went over how to send a chat. We went over how to send a reaction using Nod, mute and unmute your mic, and how to access Google Meet. So those are the main functions you're going to be using when we hop on for lecture for Google Meets. As always, if you have any questions, more than happy to help out. Hopefully this was helpful in trying to figure out the ins and outs of Google Meets. All right? Enjoy. See you guys.